The Louis Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. The Louis Bellina Show, Friday, lunchtime. Oh, yeah. Thanks to Rudy's BBQ. Joined now inside the Charles Schwab studio, as we do each Friday, the entire hour, Brice Jones, BBQ PitMaster. What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
What's the last great thing you made?
I don't know. I mean, what did I make that was... I made some birria tacos that were pretty good this week.
See, and the reason why I ask, I seem like I'm a random person, and I guess in general, maybe I am at times, but I'm in the mood this weekend. Like, you think about what's coming up. Fridays I love, right? And I'm already dreaming of the weekend. I want to have a great meal. You ever just had in the mood to eat something great?
Yeah.
Like the what in particular actually isn't relevant to the story, but I just want to eat something great. I want to get done with that meal. I don't care if it's a 1 hour or 3 hour long meal, and just know I had a great meal.
Yeah, don't disagree.
So, and I don't know the what yet parts.
I know what I'm making tonight.
What are you making?
Shrimp fried rice with a little oyster sauce, soy sauce. It'll be good.
Okay, that's a cheat code because you can always eat fried rice. Fried rice should always be good. If you ever eat at a place that gives you bad fried rice, even if it's never eat there again. Just there's no excuse.
Go somewhere else.
Well, there's never an excuse to get bad fried rice. They can't say, well, this was our one time. Bad fried rice is inexcusable.
The only place you ever get fried rice is at a Chinese food restaurant, so they should be able to do it well.
And you make your own?
Yeah, I make my own.
Dang, and I know you. You are a great cook. We say barbecue pitmaster. You know how to cook.
Yeah, I just like to cook. So, yeah, I make my own fried rice.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Can you bring me some?
No.
All right. I just figured I'd ask. Brice Jones hangs out. You can text questions for Brice. You can text questions for me to 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. Hey, man, let's start Aggie Baseball Universe, right? I'm so fired up after winning 5 straight now, including 2 teams that we all hate like with an undying passion. I don't ever want them to lose again. I know they will. I'm trying to brace myself for it, but they're down in Florida. Gainesville, a Gators team that could win Omaha this year, and they could get eliminated in a regional. They got a pretty wide variance. They do. I mean, obviously their pitching is elite. I mean, it's probably right behind Texas as far as staffs go in the country. Their offense doesn't really scare you, but they do have guys that if they get on a heater, like you said, they could go all the way to Omaha. So I think obviously this will be a lot tougher series than what they faced last weekend. Even though LSU is talented and got dudes, like they just hadn't been playing good ball. Florida plays good ball one week and then plays terrible ball the next week. So it just depends on what Florida team shows up. Florida's a little scary. They're from the sweep or be swept department too. It just kind of that's just how they feel. Because like you said on a heater, if they click on a weekend, they'll sweep you, and if not, you can sweep them. They don't seem to have much mid. No, they don't. Again, like I said, they have good weeks and then they have really bad weeks, and it starts in the midweek. I don't know if they played this week. Usually, if they've lost the midweek, they've had a pretty terrible weekend. So, not sure what they did this week, but hey, Jeanette, can you see what the Florida Gators baseball team did in the midweek this week? If they played on Tuesday. Florida Gators baseball. Can you see if they won or lost in the midweek this week? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, and who they played, because that will factor into it too. Because I mean, if they won 13-1 against some scrub, then I won't care. But I mean, typically when they've had a bad midweek, they've had a bad weekend, and so we'll see. Every weekend's a tough matchup. The league is littered with MLB players, and so another tough one. Here's the starting rotation setup. Shane Sadeo's going again Friday, and watching him the past couple outings. I mean, he's not going for the Cy Young. He still can't go 5, but he's not getting shelled anymore. Didn't he go 5 though? He went 4 2/3 again. Okay, 4 2/3. Yeah. But I mean, look, a Friday night guy, you'd think he should go 7. Okay,
yeah,
but look. You could see he's making progress. You could see he's moving forward. And he's no longer putting you in a bad spot by giving up 5 and like 3 and burning your bullpen on Friday. He's moving forward. Yeah.
They lost to Jacksonville 75.
They lost to Jacksonville.
There we go.
Aggies are sweeping.
Sweep incoming.
Aggies are sweeping. The Brice Jones theory. But back to Sadeo. He's building. And now he's not killing you.
Well, I mean, look, I think he was a little unlucky, throughout the year as his mistakes have been hammered. Guys aren't missing his mistakes. He's getting a lot of punch outs, but he's also, when they hit the ball, they're hitting the ball hard against him. And so that's gotten a little bit better the last couple of weeks. And he's not walking a ton of guys, and so he gives you a chance with this offense. You'd like to see him get to give you 6 innings on a Friday with 3 or 4 runs, and with the offense that you have, you would think would be good. But against this pitching staff this weekend, runs will probably be at a premium against Florida unless they have a bad weekend. I mean, their Friday guy has like a 1 point something ERA or something like that. But
he's 6-2. His name is hold on. The pitcher for Florida's name is Aiden King. Be careful. He's not Aiden King.
Yeah.
He is 6-2, 10 starts. He's thrown 52 and a 2/3 innings. He struck out 55. He's only walked 13 batters. His ERA, 1.71.
And it was 1 point something. And
this is a Friday night starter, and we're now getting into the season.
And apparently their Saturday guy is the better pro prospect and has better stuff. He just doesn't have the ERA that this guy does. So,
3.42.
Yeah, but
he's not hurting.
No. So again, it's a tough matchup, and you'd like to see Shane get you to 6 and give up less than 3, but he has been getting better. The body language has been better. His out pitch has been better. A lot of times it feels like this anyway. Watching games, it's hard to remember, batter by batter. But lots of times he'd get 2 strikes on guys, and then he'd get hammered. Like his out pitch just wasn't working. It seems to be getting a little bit better.
I'd agree with that. It's kind of like he doesn't have an out pitch. He doesn't have the wipeout pitch.
Yeah, it just hasn't had the movement that he's wanted, I guess, so far throughout the season. But I mean, the strikeout numbers are still high.
Yeah.
So and the walk numbers are still relatively low. So he gives you a shot. I like the way we're rolling with the pitching as far as it is. I mean, obviously you expect Weston Moss to be the Sunday guy again, unless needed on Friday or Saturday to come in a situation and close things out.
For Shane Sadeo, he has thrown 53 innings, and he has struck out 62. And by far, of any pitcher showing up this weekend, and you mentioned how good the Florida pitchers are, he has the most strikeouts of any pitcher this weekend.
Yeah.
And he's only walked 13.
Which is funny.
Versus the 63
Well, we
Ks.
talk about he doesn't have that out pitch, but he's obviously does. He's getting guys out, but sometimes it's not moving as much, and it's hanging, and it's getting hammered. And that's the problem with Shane is, with Shane, and I think, and with Weston too, is like, keep guys off base. Don't give up freebies. If you give up a solo home run, which they're going to do, I think both of them are giving up more home runs than most. I think Weston leads the league in home runs given up in SEC play, but they're both going to give up. Somebody's going to take them yard. Just make sure that those extra guys aren't on base when it happens.
So for Florida, they're throwing tonight the righty Aiden King. We mentioned he's 6-2 with a 1.71. That is your bona fide Friday nights. Saturday, they throw a righty, Liam Peterson, 1-3 with a 3.42. Solid, really great numbers. And then on Sunday, all righties, all weekend, is Russell Sandefur, 2-1. And this will be a 7-start. He hasn't been the Sunday guy the whole year. And 3.86, 30 and a third innings, 38 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Great strikeout to innings rate for him. Has walked 12. Really high, though.
Their pitching staff is legit. I mean,
it's good.
It's good. So it'll be a test this weekend for this offense.
I love the challenge.
Kind of like it was with the Texas staff. We saw how that went, but obviously, again, Florida, very talented on the mound. Every weekend the SEC is just going to be like that.
The game schedule is like 5:30 tonight, first pitch, 4 o'clock on Saturday, and then it's noon on Sunday. And you'll hear all 3 games, of course, here on The Zone, 1150 AM, 93.7 FM. You can listen on the Zone app. You can listen at radioagland.com, and you can tell Alexa, play Zone 1150. We're your home, and you look up, and I didn't look this morning, but RPI is like 8. Maybe it's 7, maybe it's 9 now. They're super regionalville.
Yeah, they're teetering on the national seed. As far as hosting a super, and they just got to keep playing good baseball. There's still a lot of baseball left, and you got to continue to win. Just continue to win series. Like, the sweep was great last weekend, but this weekend you'll take 2 out of 3 easy and be happy with it and head home. So just keep winning series, and they will. If they keep winning series, they win every series. I mean, obviously they're going to be a national
hosting
seed,
a super. I mean, they'll be a top 5 team
Yeah.
if they win every series left.
Yes.
You look at the quality of opponent left. I mean, they got 4 series, win 2 out of 3 on the last all the way out. They're a top 5 team in the country.
Yeah, and I figure even if they, you talk about 4 series left and you split that, then you're probably teetering on that line, or if not, on that line as far as being the 7 or 8 seed. They've got a lot to play for.
Didn't see this coming. I've been honest this week. I didn't think they were a top 10 team.
No, I didn't know. If, you knew they were talented offensively. We knew that. They've done it all year long. It's just been the pitching staff was not great. The first quarter of the season. Then you lost Josh Stewart, and it just seemed like, oh man, how do they recover from this? Because they need somebody in the bullpen to step up, and Cunningham and Lyons have kind of filled, stepped up. Lyons especially has stepped up and given you a bunch of quality innings, out of the bullpen.
So didn't see it coming. Could not be happier that it's coming,
it's fun.
that it's happening. It feels like they're peaking now. It's not a bad time to peak. You like peaking later, but can they maintain the peak? Thing is, offensively, you never have to cool off. It's pitching you always worry about if they peak too soon. It's not the hitting.
Well, and you look at the only one, look, Sadeo and Moss have been there. They've got the innings, and the one you worry about is maybe Aiden Sims when he gets deeper into the season as far as, innings pitched. Will he ever have pitched this many innings in his career? No. And so you worry, a little bit, but he's been, 7-0, and has been amazing. He has
been insane.
He has kind of held it together when he was the guy on Sunday that would get you a game because he was the one. Even if Sadeo Moss had off days, you could count on Sims on Sunday, and now he's moved up to Saturday, and things have been good.
You know what else can still emerge? Because this is a pretty common story. You always have pitchers that can emerge at the end of the year because some pitchers have thrown so few innings, and they're still learning like every day in practice. Actually, there's pitchers.
Yeah, who were the two guys? One of them was Hunter Bond. And the other guy, I forget the other kid's name. He's a freshman, but they had been injured. Now they're starting to come back from it. They threw a little bit on Tuesday, and that's what you hate about missing, the Tuesday rainouts is getting those guys more work to see if they really can be somebody you can go to on the weekend. But, if you have a big lead or something, you run them out there and see what you get out of them because you like to find another piece or two that you can rely on, as you get deeper and get into the postseason. So guys have stepped up and just got to continue riding the wave they're on.
That could be part of the storyline for the final month is what other arms, what other one even one guaranteed I can rely on, more arm to emerge for the bullpen on the weekends could be huge.
Well, and you saw it last weekend. If Chris Hakopian gets going, this offense has been good. Not that he's just been this black hole or anything, but he hasn't had the power numbers or that you were expecting and RBI numbers. It's all come from Grahovec and Sorrell. And
for Hakopian, didn't he come in as the number one ranked MLB prospect? And if he performs at that level, because again, like you said, he's not a bum. He's not. You don't want to get carried away.
Hitting way over 300, and just he was hitting a lot of ground balls. And you saw something last week, and they talked about on the telecast. They fixed his approach a little bit and trying to get his timing back on track. And he started hitting the ball in the air a little bit. So if you get that guy going, on the level of Grahovec and Sorrell, then I promise you nobody wants to. Right now nobody wants to see this lineup anyways. With him kind of being a little better than average. So if everybody gets going at the same time, then we all know this offense is scary.
You survived the top of the order, and then you still got like Bear, who got a 600 on base, and Partita, and then on any given weekend, who's the other 2 to 3 guys that are hot also?
Yeah,
it's an awesome lineup.
It's been
rough.
up and down the lineup. There's no rest. I think I tweeted last week. Like you just don't get a breather when you get to like the 7 hole because then you have Partita, then you have Bear, you have Keel, Bear, and you go. Jorian's down there, and I think Jorian's the 7 hole, then Bear, and then Kellner, and so they've all been really good. Jorian has his swing and miss stuff, but he also hits 110 mile an hour rockets off the bat pretty much every time he when he makes contact. So can do a lot of damage.
Isn't that kind of and that's not the key, but that's kind of the magic, or that's the secret, is like when the pitcher does relax, you might be able to beat the bottom if you were to bear down as hard as you do the top, but you almost can't because the second you try and breathe, that's when they destroy you.
Yeah. They 1 through 9, they're dangerous, and you can't. You got to be locked in the entire way through the lineup.
9 innings.
Normally, you get to 8 and 9, and you feel like maybe you can make a mistake and get away with it. No, Bear, he did last week, and he crushed one, and Kellner has 6 or 7 home runs. Like there's not the only guy in the lineup without multiple home. You got Keel's the only guy that doesn't worry about leaving the yard.
Well, Friday night, LSU walked him 3 times. So Saturday, they're like, well, we got to go at him. We can't walk the bottom of the order and set up the top. So he goes yard. That's something about that so micro, but it's so brilliant. You know, we can't walk the bottom order. We can't set the table for the top. So this game we need to focus.
Yeah.
They pitch it. He goes yard.
That's why Grahovec has so many RBIs in the 1 hole, because those guys just are getting on base. It's just you don't see many. He's second obviously to Sorrell in RBIs, but the leadoff guy's not supposed to have that many. But it's the guys at the bottom setting the table, and Grahovec's delivering.
No, huge. Just fun to watch
It's
as
been
a
fun.
fan.
It is. It's been fun baseball for like a month now, if not more. So
When your pitching's not getting destroyed, it's all fun.
yeah, with this offense,
When you sweep Texas, it's all fun.
Yeah, and it went back before then that they just been playing good baseball. And everybody's noticing. Everybody knows they're the hottest team in the country. You look at D1 Bay, all these people talking about it. A&M's the hottest team in the country, and they just needed to stay that way for another couple of months.
Again, though, when we say the hottest team, though, like you just said, though, to be clear, they take 2 out of 3, which is hot, but they're sweeping right now, which has got the buzz, right? Just 2 out of 3.
Yeah,
2 out of 3.
and not a lot of close, not a lot of close games either. I mean, Sundays was the closest, right? 5-2. I mean, that type of deal,
Which they led the whole way.
Yeah, it was 5-0 at one point. Like it wasn't. You were never worried about that game. So they're winning games and winning them with a nice little margin.
979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. You could text me, but really, I got Brice here the whole hour. I say, text Brice your questions, comments, or opinions. You can light up the Texas Mobile One Lube Express inbox. Texas Mobile One Lube Express, owned by Gabriel Garcia. 979-693-1150. More Brice, more of your text messages, more of the Louis Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric when we return.
Start your Sunday mornings with the best week ever from ESPN Radio. Yes! Listen in from 6 to 9 on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
It is the Louis Bellina Show from inside the Charles Schwab studio with Brice Jones inside the Charles Schwab studio. Low cost, full service, best of all local. That is Charles Schwab. And the key question, how can Charles Schwab be local? It's a company. And, they got locations all over. Well, Mark Sim is right here in College Station. Mark Sim is our local Charles Schwab branch. And Mark eats here, sleeps here, lives here. He goes to the games. And when you have local, you get to sit down, shake a hand, look them in the eye. And we're talking about your financial now and your financial future. That's Charles Schwab. That's Mark Sim. Look them up online. Get answers to your questions. Learn more. Go to schwab.com/College Station. Schwab.com/College Station. Brice, you want a couple of text message questions?
Sure.
Are you sure you're ready?
I'm ready.
You know how the questions can get. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go to the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. The first one, and I found this fascinating too, said, I'm really enjoying #positive Brice today.
Yeah. See, I told you. It's a new thing. It's a trend. Positive Brice.
I was wondering if you're okay. I told my producer, Jeanette, to keep a medic on call.
Yeah. I mean, look, when you're winning, I'm happy. Come on.
Sports is that simple.
I keep it simple. If we're
sports is that simple.
Just winning makes you happy. It's okay. You will never find me upset about winning.
That's true. It's hard to argue with that.
Yeah, I'll be positive.
And Aggie Baseball's winning. Actually, isn't it interesting right now? Every Aggie sport is winning. Aggie football's in an off season after 11 wins in a college football playoff. Bucky ball is having the greatest recruiting anything in the history of Aggie basketball. You look at the 32-hour stretch, nothing in Aggie basketball recruiting. I'm going to be specific. In my lifetime, maybe I missed something in 1928.
He's old, by the way.
Not as old as you.
Whatever.
Aren't you older than me?
Not even close, sir.
I'm just going, you look older than me.
Not even close.
You look older than me.
No, that's false, too.
Come on, dude. I shaved. Okay. Anyway, Aggie basketball is on this just stretch from hell. Aggie softball is crushing it as hard as Aggie baseball. Like, if you're an Aggie sports fan right now, what is there to be boss, miserable, unhappy about? I'm just confused.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
right.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Positive Brice.
I'm here. That's all I am.
As hard as Brice is searching, as much as he wants to be miserable.
I wasn't happy about KC getting drafted by the Browns last night. I wasn't positive about that. So I don't think anybody could be happy about that.
I talked about that at the start of the show.
Did you?
Where I'm sitting there, draft, right? And I'm like, when he gets picked, I'm just so happy because it's like his story.
That article that came out was awesome.
And during the entire offseason draft process, every moment he has spoke or wrote, socials, right? How have you not been in love with him and not been proud of him and rooting for him? So the dream came true. He's a first-round pick.
That was the cool part.
And you just cheer. But after maybe a minute and 50 seconds or a minute 45, you went, Cleveland. Brown. No.
No.
Bro, whoa. Yeah, it's the no. That screaming no sound into the abyss.
He's got no organization, no quarterback. I mean, it's just, I told you, it's like it's the black hole. It's where players go to get traded somewhere else before they have an actual career. So
he will catch passes from 5 different quarterbacks this year, and they all suck.
If it wasn't for maybe the greatest defense, maybe who might go down as one of the greatest defensive players of all time, if it wasn't for Myles Garrett's story, the Browns wouldn't be a story, and that sucks. And you cannot change my mind. Buffalo was going to draft him a few picks later. They completely traded out of the first round after he got drafted, and that was kind of where he was predicted to go. Maybe the KC to the Chiefs type of deal. But yeah, I am convinced once Buffalo traded like 3 times after he got picked, that's where he was going.
I think that's 100% correct.
Yeah, and the difference to going to Josh Allen.
They left the first round.
Yeah, they did. They traded back once, then they traded back again, then they just completely traded out of the round altogether.
I'm 100% with you. Again, look. That's first round pick. Gonna get paid. The dream came true.
Yeah, awesome for him. Happy
all
for
of
him.
it. It's just the Browns.
Maybe one of these days they'll find a quarterback that can win them some football games.
You don't want to go to Cleveland. You don't want to go to the Jets.
Yeah.
What are the other organizations?
The Jets. I wouldn't want to go to the Raiders. The Jets.
You get to live in Vegas.
The Cardinals. Wouldn't want to go to the Cardinals.
Okay, no Arizona.
Yeah, you get to.
They're the only organization that takes the best player for the NFL draft and gets a C grade.
Yeah.
Because they have no O-line. Like taking a running back with the current state of their offense.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that kind of inside stuff.
Yes. I mean, look.
It was an awful pick.
It's
taking the best player in the draft.
Yeah. And that's.
It was hilarious.
Look, and it's the first time since Saquon that a running back's gone that
2018.
high. 2018. Yeah, it's been 8 years. And so Jeremiah Love's stud, but it's not. He's not fixing the problems. Just look at Ashton Genty last year. He's a great running back. No offensive line. It just it doesn't matter how good it doesn't work if your running back's the greatest of all time. If you can't,
I'm laughing because it's so absurd.
If you can't block for him, then it doesn't matter.
It's so absurd.
Yeah, I mean it's a good draft. It was a good, but yeah, happy for KC. Just sucks that it had to be the Browns.
I know you like the draft. This draft was awesome for storylines. The Rams taking Stafford when they're going all in this year.
And did you see
Stafford taking? Oh yeah,
Ty Simpson. Did you see Sean McVay's interview? He was pissed
because they're going all in this year.
Yeah, and they're so close to winning the Super Bowl last year, and you go get a backup quarterback or
third stringer even.
I mean they have Stetson Bennett, right?
Yeah.
And so
yeah,
dude, Sean McVay was heated.
11 trades in the first round. 11.
Yeah. Well, it went quick.
Because they went from 10 minutes to 8.
I know.
And it was exactly 3 hours and a second over.
They don't need 8 minutes. Give them the 5. But they get 8 because of the trades. And I mean, look.
Kept it tight.
I mean, you saw the Cowboys traded up one spot because, look, I want them. Caleb Downs was the guy I wanted. It's the guy they needed. And I'm sure everybody that needed when he was still there and knew that who was it they traded with?
They traded with the Giants
The Giants. And
when they traded up, it was Dolphins, and when they traded back, it was Giants.
Yeah, and so when they traded up Dolphins, the Dolphins didn't need a safety, but so every team that needed one was calling, trying to get the best safety in the draft. The Cowboys,
they outbid.
Yeah, they moved up one spot. They gave up 2 fifth-round picks or whatever it was. Whatever, don't care. I like the Caleb Downs pick. I don't know enough about the defensive end they took. He's a project.
High upside,
I know,
but nowhere near the highest grade. High on the board.
I was hoping I knew they needed edge. I thought they might take a shot and take Cassius Howell. Wouldn't have hated that pick. I don't hate it. I mean, there's lots of guys with a ton of potential that come out, but
why take potential when you just need to win?
Take potential in the second or third round. Don't take potential in the first round. That's me.
Well said.
You're taking a guy that that's why I was shocked. Like Ruben Bain fell so much. All that did do was terrorize backfields. But it didn't matter. He absolutely
worked. GMs don't want to get. They don't want to be stuck going. But you knew his arms, right?
The Bucks got a steal there. That kid's a beast. And I mean, he's absolutely gonna wreck shop. And so it just and I get it, the measurables, but just turn the film on. That's it. Just turn it on. Just turn it on, and so I like that over take a guy potentials for the second, third, fourth round. Maybe take a flyer on a guy. So I didn't love the second pick from Dallas. At least it wasn't an offensive lineman this year. At least we took somebody in the first round that wasn't an offensive lineman.
You actually took positions you needed.
Yeah, I mean,
at least you did the need thing.
And Downs fell as he as he was falling because we went to dinner last night. I was talking to my son, and I was like, dude, I was like, I'd love to get. He's like, there's no way he'll be there at 12. And I was like, yeah, probably not. I was like, but then he kept falling, and then when the Giants didn't take him, then you're like, okay.
But the falling thing is a little bit weird. I don't know if he fell. The trades shuffle order.
Yeah.
See, versus falling.
Yeah.
Like the Cowboys, at 12 got a number 8 player.
Yeah.
But it's not as fall. He felt the trades reshuffled the needs.
Yeah.
So
I was happy he was there. Obviously.
Yeah.
It's a huge need.
Great deal. And then they couldn't just do it right.
Yeah.
They had to take Lawrence and not just
well, you know what? Apparently that guy's coach is now on the Cowboys defensive staff.
And
I know, I'm just saying that was the connection there of why he was getting a run there in the first round.
Tonight should be really busy for Texas A&M.
Oh, yeah.
Santos will be one. Howell will go. Guaranteed.
Those guys will be they'll be in the first 10 picks.
10, 15. I'm not. Yeah. I think, look, Basantis is going to go in the top 10 picks. Howell's 15 men. Yes, probably top 10, but 15 is men. Then in the third round,
Zune.
Onyedem, I think is a lock. If I had to pick a third round lock, it's Onyedem.
Onyedem and Zune, I think both.
Okay, in the third round.
Then the rest are 5 to 7 to undrafted probably.
In the third round, Onyedem is I think a lock. I think so. Zune. Crownover could sneak in, and so could Regis. Not all 4, but of those 4, just think 2 men. And maybe more, but 2 men.
Yeah, I see Regis is more of a 5. I could see Crownover just because of the potential and
there's some teams that love him.
It's the measurables, and I mean it's not like he was bad. And same thing like Zune, I think goes earlier because he can play different, but he can play center, he play whatever you want him to. He's played them all, but I mean there'll be a lot of guys taken tonight, and so I mean 10 sets the record, right?
10 ties, 11 breaks.
11 breaks.
I look at all these stupid mocks,
Yeah.
and I know you're.
And that's going to come. That's going to come down to the 6th and 7th round. And
I saw 4 Aggies in the 7th round.
Yeah,
in one mock.
Guys like Torian York and
Le'Veon Moss, Torian York, Will Lee.
Yeah.
There's a lot in there.
Yeah, there is. So
Armaj Reed Adams.
Yeah.
Is a 6-7.
Yep. So it'll
That's
depend
4 right there.
It'll depend on a lot of those guys. If they get drafted, or they go to the free agent route.
And in the 6th, 7th, because there is no board for that. That is during the process. Did you make an impression on a team?
Yeah.
Where it comes 6th, 7th, they're like, we want to give that guy a shot.
In an interview, did you blow away? Say, hey, we got to take a shot on this guy.
Interview at the combine. Yeah. Interview at the pro day.
Yeah.
A 5-minute interaction on a sideline.
Yeah.
At this point.
I know these guys want to get drafted. For me, once I got into the 7th round, I'd rather go undrafted and pick where I go.
True.
True.
And,
but I know the dream is to have your name. I get that part too. But if you're thinking as far as best, then you can find the best fit. Do they run the defensive scheme that fits you best? And you can kind of
not being a 7th round pick where they go, well, he's never stood up before, but we'll see what he can do in 3 days in practice.
Yeah.
No, you can. You and your agent can pick a team where you're going to stand up from day one in practice. What you've done your whole life.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dead
that's
on.
where I'm at in the 7th round. But
dead on.
Yeah.
Next text message.
Lots of names called.
Next text message says, Brice, can you make good barbecue with a cheap and bleepy Weber grill? I ask because that's all I have.
I mean, depends on. I mean, the problem with those little cheap Weber grills is how hot it gets. You can do. You can light the briquettes on one side and put your ribs on the other, and you probably can't do. I mean, you could do a brisket hot and fast, but it's just all about managing the temperature inside the Weber grill. So if you can figure out a way to manage how hot it is, I mean, because you can cook a brisket at 350 degrees and get it done in 5 hours. A lot of guys in competitions do hot and fast. It's just, did you trim it enough to where it fits on that small Weber grill? And can you manage the fire? But yeah, you can absolutely do it.
Again, cheap and bleepy. They didn't say.
I know there's a lot of guys in competition that will use those small, like the little old Smokies, the little small ones that just sit barely off the ground. They cook their chickens on there all the time.
Yeah, but that's why you have the best chicken. You don't.
I don't. But it can be done.
So
it is possible. It's a lot more work than a managed stick smoker that can hold temp for an hour. You just got to be careful with your temperature.
Joe in College Station texted Iron Maiden with 7 exclamation marks, and that was Iron Maiden when we came back from break. Lou likes rock and roll.
Is that well? There's also Joe who came up with the positive. It's also, I don't know if it's that Joe, but my buddy Joe is the one who came up with the positive Brice hashtag.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
It's trending on Twitter. Didn't know if you knew that.
No, it's not. I just missed out.
But he did come up. He did. Credit to him. That is from him, not me. But I try to live that motto now every day. Positive.
Stop it. There's no chance in the universe of that. That would not make 24 hours. Okay. When we return, More Brice Jones. Actually, when we return, this is something that was fascinating. I'm sure you've heard The Athletic, Bryce.
I have. I'm not a fan.
Okay, I know, but
you know, and you know this, but
they did something so awesome, and they did a portal breakdown. And when I say portal breakdown, it's really not about the players, but it's about the total numbers and the allocation and where these players went. And I'll share more of it with you. You'll get
There's
it.
thousands that go in the portal.
Oh, but
and many of them that don't leave.
They broke it down like how many players in the portal went unsigned.
Yeah, a bunch.
Where did they go? And they broke it down by the G6 and the P4. It's so involved, but you can see things from it. It's really cool. We'll talk about that. More of your text messages. More of the Louis Bellina Show presented by CC Electric. Built on faith, family, and community. That's CC Electric.
All right, listen up, class.
The Money Machine is open now. Make sure to enter each week.
Everyone comes out a winner.
At zone1150.com or through the Zone newsletter to win $5,000.
The Louis Bellina Show. We don't want it all. We just want a national championship for something football, basketball, or baseball, Texas A&M. That's all we want. Louis Bellina with Brice Jones inside the Charles Schwab studio on a Friday. It's an every Friday thing. Hope you were with us in hour number 1. We had to listen in Michael Early. He did the Florida preview and more. We also had the high school sports update thanks to Kelly Burt-Dozer. You got time to text questions, comments, or opinions. You can light up the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox at 979-693-1150. Brice, I told you about, there's 2 parts to this. First one, all spring long, I don't know if anyone's worked the data in the portal harder than The Athletic. It's something I've really enjoyed. There's been observations I've been able to take. They're ranked like the top 20 offensive linemen in the portal, and it's just kind of some insight into what school's done. Like the number 1 offensive lineman was Jordan Seaton out of Colorado. He went to LSU, and then Melvin Sinai, Wake Forest, went to Texas. Here's something that was an eye-opener for me. Kentucky. They're hoping things are going to change there. They've been offense miserable.
Yeah, they hired a new. I mean, they hired a new coach.
Will Stein.
Yeah,
not the old A&M baseball coach, but and he is a Kentucky blue blood coach there, and he's offensive minded. He came from Oregon. Yeah, he was the quarterbacks coach at Oregon, if I'm not mistaken. Well, why should they get good quick? What if I told you they took 2 of the top 6 offensive linemen in the portal, 3 of the top 12?
Yeah. I mean, that's how you fix things. It's in the trenches right away.
Right. But that's the little insight. See, looking at this stuff is why I look at it, is to get those little nuggets. Like, and I'm not picking them to go to the college football playoff, but what if they don't suck? What if they're okay? Right?
Yeah.
What? And all of a sudden people are like, wow. And they got a real quarterback, but if they have no line, it doesn't matter.
Who's their quarterback?
And, well, I'd have to look at it, brain credit. But here's by the way, and who's these linemen they got? They got the number 3 transfer O-lineman, Lance Hurd from Tennessee. Number 6 was Colton Prince from Baylor. And then the number 12 ranked was Tegra Tshobola from Ohio State. Look at the program names I said, too.
Yeah.
They didn't get guy from Gumby Tech.
Yeah,
University
but that guy at Ohio State wasn't playing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
and that's why he's 12. That's why he's 12.
Right.
But obviously the potential, he went to Ohio State, the potential to be good is probably
2 of the top
probably
6,
there.
3 of the top 12. And for A&M,
why do I care about Kentucky?
number 8 was Wilkin Formby, Alabama's player, A&M. They got the number 8 player.
Yeah, which there's been a lot of buzz from him in the spring that he's because if you watch the tape from last year, he didn't have a great year. I mean, he got worked. He got
moved positions, didn't he?
Yeah, he got worked pretty good. And so, I mean, we've heard good things coming out of spring practice that he's kind of gotten better. And, obviously A&M has a great O-line coach, so they're counting on him to be a starter.
That's what I have confidence in.
Yeah.
From the start,
yeah.
With all they lost, you should realistically expect to take 2 steps back. This is 4 NFL caliber O-linemen gone from one of the top 5 offensive lines in the country.
Maybe not 2 steps. With the portal, it should just maybe be a step back. I don't know about 2 steps. 2 steps
to me,
is pretty bad.
I believe in the coach as much as the talent. That's why I don't think they step that far back.
Yeah, I think they'll be
I believe in the coach.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine.
So, now here's the portal transfer kind of analysis stuff they did, right? So, Power 4 players that went in the portal. You had 1,553 that got signed that just went.
Yeah.
And that represented 88% of the total players that went in the portal. You ended up having 207 kids that went unsigned. 11.8. So 12% of the kids that went into the portal just went unsigned completely. That's kind of a highish number to me.
Well, I mean, if they were, you think about maybe they're in their 4th or 5th year and haven't played anywhere, and like they just hit the portal hoping somebody would take a shot at them, and they didn't. So
still 12%, and this is kids from a Power 4 school.
I actually thought it might have been higher than that, to be honest with you.
Kids from a Power 4 school, not all, but kids from a Power 4 school that went into the transfer portal. 12% of them didn't sign anywhere.
I
They didn't get to settle
maybe I'm
for
wrong.
a G6.
Yeah, like I just honestly thought maybe it was, would have even been a little higher than that, just because the amount of people that go in the portal, like how many, with your recruiting class, like how many, spots there, you have to fill. So, yeah, it's always a risk when you go in there. Doesn't mean it's a guarantee you're going somewhere.
Here was the number, though, for me that was like the really less than 50% of the total number of Power 4 players that went in the portal actually stayed at the Power 4 level, though.
It was what, 86?
Less than 50%.
Stay. Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I didn't realize so many players are jumping in the portal to move down.
I mean, they've spent 2 or 3 years somewhere and haven't played. Like the other D1 programs don't need guys with the. You go into the portal to get somebody proven that has a track record, and that doesn't surprise me at all.
859 of the P4 players went in the portal, stayed in P4. 48.8, 49%.
Yeah,
less than 50.
Yeah, it doesn't.
32% went G6, 559 players. 135 went to the FCS, D2, just other. 8% went that route with it. Now, breaking it down a little more into the specifics, right? 32% moved down to G6. We said that. No Power 4 program, and this is all the athletic. They went to the portal. They picked apart every number, but no Power 4 program signed more transfers than, just take a wild shot.
No, say it again.
No Power 4 program signed more transfers than
LSU.
Oklahoma State, 53.
Oh, really? LSU was like 40-something, so I thought I had a pretty good shot
41.
There. Yeah, I felt pretty confident I'd be close, but Oklahoma State. Well, yeah, I mean, they changed. Yeah, Gundy got fired, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, so they had a big change, too.
And then they hired the North Texas coach, Eric Morris.
And then they brought...
So everyone left, and he brought everyone?
Yeah. He
but
wanted
53,
everybody to leave. They were bad.
No P4 program signed more transfers than Oklahoma State at 53. Here's the next. Iowa State did 47. Colorado, 43.
Yeah.
6 of the 7 schools I'm mentioning are new. Okay?
Yeah. Well, and Colorado does that every single year. Deion just tells them, hey, see ya.
Well, every player goes there and realizes that Deion's a joke and the program's a joke.
And they leave.
Yeah. Arkansas, 42. UCLA, 41. LSU, 40. Auburn, 39. Penn State, 38. And again, 6 of these 7 I mentioned, the top 7, all new coaches.
Come in, they clean house, and guys don't want to stay around for it sometimes. But, yeah, it's usually,
Colorado. So Deion has now been there since 2023, has signed 171 transfers since 2023.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
That's insane.
Not surprising at all.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. And Oklahoma State, which signed the most, lost 66. So they're still minus 13 total. They signed 53 the most, so they lost 66.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful. Now, continuing this little having fun with the portal. That's all we're doing. I find
having fun with the portal.
I get fascinated by this. So
you like the numbers. I know you do.
I do. You know that.
And I humor you.
Because I think you can realize things. I think there's things to take away, like realizing if Kentucky were to make a bowl this year, how did they go to a bowl? Because they built their O-line through the portal would be the answer.
Yeah.
I mean, changing head coaches was the first thing, but
yeah.
So that was all the Power 4 players that went into the portal. Now, the G6 players that went into the portal, only 71% of them ending up signing anywhere. That means 29% of them signed nowhere.
Not surprising.
Brutal to me. Of that in total, 32% went to P4.
Yeah.
32. It's just...
They're not... I don't know. I mean, these numbers are not surprising to me at all.
Why don't you stay? Like, if you're going to have...
Because they weren't playing.
Many players go out there. But it's better to stay where you are than to leave and go nowhere.
They get bad advice. Like, I mean, they're kids.
But do you understand now why I'm shocked?
Yeah.
You say bad advice.
Just stay there and enjoy 4 years of college.
Yes.
Yeah.
On a football team.
I'm with you.
On whatever version of a scholarship you have.
Yeah.
Versus this bad advice, and 29% went unsigned. Yeah. That's 30% of the kids, 29% of the kids that got the worst advice in the world.
It's the need for instant gratification and instant play. Got to have this right away and right now. Can't wait. And guys have been there 1 year and have shown nothing. Like, well, I didn't get to play. I'm going to go somewhere else. And then they get in the portal. Well, you got nothing on film to prove you're any good, and nobody wants you. So, I mean, it's just the times we're living in.
That's just so awful. And the G6, it's not like generally speaking, you weren't living the life. and then you go to none.
Yeah,
Like,
I would if I was in the G6, and I wouldn't leave unless I knew I had a spot and was being got tampered with, and Lane Kiffin was like, "Hey, I got a spot for you." Be like, "All right, coach, cool." Then I'm hitting the portal and going to so any coach that's what happens.
if you're not a no tag player, do no portal.
Yeah, no portal.
So, okay, 29% went unsigned, 71% got signed. I mean, you do the math, it adds up. But 32% went P4, 28%, did other G6, and then you got the 13% did the FCS, D2, or other. Man, there's a lot of bad. There's a lot of bad.
Well, look, I mean, with every recruiting class, 25 more guys are coming in, and
some get booted out, right?
Yeah, they're going to take a flyer on those guys over somebody who hasn't produced for 2 years that they recruited earlier on, and it's just the way of the world.
This is G6 players that go in the portal. Again, we broke it down, and that's why I love this stuff. It's just like, okay, now to the specifics. Memphis, they lost their coach, lost more players to the portal, 49. And remember, there's 85 scholarships, folks.
Yeah.
But they lost more, 49 than any other G6. UConn lost 44. Coastal Carolina lost 39. App State 38.
Yeah.
Georgia State 38. Arkansas 38. Among the G6 schools, Washington State put 21 most transfers to the P4 ranks. Who got promoted up.
Gotcha.
Washington State 21, North Texas 20 because they all went to their coach at Oklahoma State. James Madison, which was the Indiana breeding ground for a national championship, put 19 to the P4. South Florida 18, Tulane 16, Memphis 15. And then no FBS team relied in more players via the portal than UConn. And UConn had this power structure. Jim Mora got replaced. They went with Jason Candle, and those that don't know, Jason Candle has this epic, and I do mean epic history. Like, he just wins.
I've never heard of the guy.
Signed 56 players.
Never heard of
At
him.
UConn, they signed 56 players, transfers, right?
Look,
and 22
UConn will
from
never
the
be good at
P4.
football. Like 90% of these teams you're reading off are never going to be good at football.
Fair enough.
in Arkansas is on that list, so that is fair.
And finally, in the G6 level, South Florida pulled 24 players from the P4. UConn pulled 22 from the P4. North Texas pulled 22 from the P4, and Memphis 19.
Outside of Memphis, that's when you didn't have many other options. Is when you're going from a P4 player going to UConn.
It's so weird. Like what did they promise them? Because it couldn't be money.
Well,
at that
they
level,
didn't have any other option, Lou. They're going to UConn because nobody else offered them a shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one else offered them a D1 shot. That's why they're going to UConn. It's as simple as that. They're not offering a bunch of money. The guys that are going there they were going to be in that percentage of number that didn't get signed anywhere in G4. That's why they're going to UConn.
So okay, and I think also something in my head, telling me if you down or not down, but not all P4 schools are that glorious either.
Yeah.
There's plenty of South Florida can be a better option than some of these P4 schools. And we're not going to act like they're all Alabama, A&M, and Ohio State.
Yeah, but still, I mean, again, the ones that went to UConn, I can almost guarantee they didn't have many better options.
Would you rather be at South Florida or Waco?
South Florida.
Bam! There you go. Hey, Brice, get out of here, dude.
All right,
Have an
man.
amazing weekend. It's always fun to check in with you, man.
Oh, see ya.
Okay. I'll be back and we'll wrap things up. This is the Louis Bellina Show presented by CC Electric. You know they have free estimates at CC Electric. They also have military and veteran discounts at CC Electric. It's the Louis Bellina Show, Friday on The Zone.
The Louis Bellina Show, the Maroon and White Notebook, the rest of the world of sports and lifestyle. Weekdays 11 to 2 on The Zone.
The Louis Bellina Show, wrapping things up. Lunchtime thanks to Rudy's Barbecue. Look, I hope you had fun. Basic principle of the Louis Bellina Show, sports is fun. Sports is entertainment. Sports is what just makes our lives that much better. I've got many text messages kind of saying the same thing. Rick, a lot of the kids may not have a spot on their current school. William Hendrick, but how many of these kids are moving because of trouble or attitude problems? Lance, in the Golden Triangle, now College Station, some of the kids are pushed out of the program. True, all true, but like, what percent do you think that is of all of this? It's a number, but of that unsigned 11%, I have total numbers even. I think it's a very minor percent. It's a very minor percent of that total number. Again, I found it fascinating, the breakdown. And really, less than 50% of P4 players that, enter the portal stay on the P4 level fascinated me and more. I just hope you had fun when we had the Michael Early listen-in. High school sports update thanks to Kelly Bertdozer and Brice Jones. He had to get out of here, and Brice Jones, again, every Friday, noon till 1, joins me inside the Charles Schwab studio. We gave away a family 4-pack to see the Astros and the Yankees tomorrow, thanks to Dixie Tire Company. That was the ticket booth opening, and the ticket booth, doesn't matter what and when, is thanks to Dixie Tire Company. Dixie Tire Company's been serving BCS like 37, 36. I lost track. They've been here a long time. They're located at 301 West William Joel Bryant Parkway. That's in historic downtown Bryan. They're open Monday through Friday till 6, Saturday till 1. You can always call them at 775-TIRE. I'm almost sad. Look, Aggie softball beat the hell out of South Carolina and Columbia. Aggie baseball beat the hell out of the Gators. Aggie football beat the hell out of the NFL draft. Tonight should be a big night. And the rest of the NFL draft. There's probably 10 more Aggies to come. Houston Astros hosting the Yankees. Beat the hell out of the Yankees. It's a great sports weekend. I love the spring. I mean, Aggie football is the fire and passion, don't get me wrong, but I love spring sports. I got to go. I'm back Monday. Have an amazing weekend. This has been the Louis Bellina Show, Friday on the Zone. Peace, everybody.
You can hear the Paul Feinbaum Show weekdays 2 to 4 here on the Zone. Presented by Polaris Fun Center. Paul Feinbaum is SEC Country, and Aggieland is SEC Country too. Join Paul weekdays 2 to 4 here on the Zone. Polaris Fun Center, where you can get a $500 rebate on any 450 or 570 Model A TV, or $2,000 cash back on a Polaris XP1000. Polaris Fun Center, where they sell and service fun, not tractors. The voice of the SEC, and you can hear Paul Feinbaum weekdays from 2 to 4 on the Zone.